Let's try it again. Okay, y'all. Welcome to
Colorful
Colorful
thoughts.
Podcast. We are. I'm sorry. We having problems here.
We're gonna get it though.
We're gonna get it. I promise you, we're gonna get it. They go on there and check one more time.
I'm gonna check.
You
And
see.
while we're checking, we just want to thank Dr. Lamar Price for coming on with us.
Being patient with the brother, cause I am all. I'm trying to get it right.
Yeah. So what I did was I went into the search and I put colorful thoughts, and it came up with upcoming colorful thoughts. I clicked on that, and it's showing live chat. So
we on there?
wait a minute. Hold on a second. Okay, I clicked on. We thank everyone for their patience.
Yeah.
We're gonna get
Well,
it
okay.
together.
Well, on there. So everybody should be able to see us. It's on there. If y'all can hear us or see us, can somebody please say something in the chat? Let it pop up. Let us know. Text me if you know my phone number, and let us know that you're able to see us right now because I don't understand why you can't, but I can. Well, I could have a few minutes ago.
Yeah. But anyway, we're going to go on and go with the program. Again, we just want to thank Dr. Lamar Price for coming on with us. We're going to be talking about our health. And one thing I always say is that our health is our wealth. And it's not so much as monetarily or anything like that, but we would love to have that. But it's about being healthy. And so we have a lot of questions that we want to ask Dr. Price. Dr. Price, but first, go ahead and I'm sorry, babe.
No, go ahead. I would like him to go ahead and talk and
Yeah, I was going to ask him to go ahead and introduce himself.
go ahead, Greg. I'm sorry. I seen you grab a pen and I thought you was about to go in on the questions and go ahead.
Nah,
That's
I got you, babe.
uh,
All right. Well, hey,
go ahead,
listen,
brother.
King Khalid, Queen Carmen, thank you all for this opportunity. This is an honor, a highly recognized honor to be the first on your new show and the first episode of many. And this will go down in history. Okay, so and then we get to look back and talk about all the technical issues we had trying to get this going. So hopefully this is being recorded. Hopefully people will be able to see this. Hopefully this is reaching someone. We have a lot of wealth of knowledge today to hand out. We want to give out some empowering information. Knowledge is power, and we want
Yeah.
that power. We deserve it. We own it. We live it. We breathe it. It runs through our blood vessels, veins, and arteries. And when I say we, I'm talking about the melanated community. I'm talking about the people of the Most High. We have been created fearfully, wonderfully. We are made. We are awesome creatures. It's funny that a lot of people don't know who they are and they forget who they are. They forget where we come from. And so we want to just put this out there that we are the baddest people on the planet and health
What?
is everything. Health is everything. So I'm getting messages as right now that someone is on your page right now. They don't see anything. So hopefully it will click in maybe later. I don't know. They're refreshing and trying to get on your YouTube. I got 5 people now that just texted me and said they don't see anything, but we'll just keep going. Hopefully this is being recorded. Maybe you can upload it later. So I'll give a little bit about my background really quick so we don't spend too much time and hopefully people will be able to call in and get some questions and Q&A going. I come from Los Angeles, California, born and raised in 71. I'm currently 51 years old right now. And growing up in LA, it was pretty interesting. It was an experience. It was life changing for me because growing up in LA, I was introduced to the streets, introduced to a lot of friends who died in gangs and drugs and alcohol. I've seen it all growing up in LA, right in Hollywood and the heart of the capital of the entertainment. We got
Right.
everything goes back in the 70s. And so I was experienced a lot of in my youth, a lot of things that most people don't experience in a lifetime. So it was fortunate that, God opened up doors for me to walk through and experience what's really going on in reality in the streets. I tasted it, I've touched it, I've had experience in and out of jails, the prison system. Coming out of the prison system, I was also diagnosed with different health issues. The health issues were guaranteed by the doctors that they were grim, no cures for them. One being melanoma skin cancer. I had a issue with my arm. It looks like someone said they got it. I hope they're on and see us live. Please, someone text me too. If you're watching, you can see us
Yeah.
respond. With the health issues that I was diagnosed with, there's no cures for it. And I just changed my lifestyle, started eating healthy, and had no clue that the healthy lifestyle had everything to attribute to me correcting these issues and feeling better and getting better. With that being said, I went into the medical field. I wanted to try out and find out how I can help other people. Because I figured if I got rid of diseases, three major diseases, there's no cure for, and the doctors assured my mom, my family members, and myself that these it looked grim. Even one of the doctors that diagnosed me told me that give or take 8 months to live, and I was just like,
Wow.
wow, really? Is that just coming out of your mouth so easily? It
Mhm.
just rolled off his tongue. We're going to give you 8 months to live, and I didn't pay no attention. I wasn't even in my right mind and right faculties at the time to even comprehend. So, with that being said, I went into a vegan lifestyle after vegan lifestyle and started introducing other meats and herbs and things like that, like fish. I started doing fish and getting on herbs. I noticed that I felt great. I felt younger. I started like my age was reversing. As I was getting older, I was looking younger. As I was getting older, I felt better. My body was in good shape. I found myself going from every day from my youth all the way into my 20s, my late 20s, having headaches almost every single day. The
Mm.
ENT, ear, nose, throat doctor told my mom that I had the worst case of allergies and sinuses that she had ever seen. And shout out to Dr. Fletcher, my ENT, nose, throat doctor. Um, Interesting enough, I think they tell everybody that it's the worst. Just like when people write books, everybody's a bestseller. I walked into
Right.
Barnes and Noble and I saw like 30 bestsellers, and I'm saying, how can everybody be a bestseller? I thought Best was like the only one that stands alone, but they tell everybody this is the worst case we've ever seen. You're the worst case of cancer. You're the worst case of diabetes. You're the worst case of blood pressure. It's always the worst, and those are grim words. So I didn't really take too much to it. I didn't give into it. It didn't let me bother me mentally because I really wasn't comprehending what they were saying. So I just kept living. I kept living my lifestyle, but I did get an opportunity to go into adult school program in Santa Monica City College, get a GED. After that, I was able to go and to take medical training, med school, pre-med. I took courses just to learn more about medicine. I took courses in the internal medicine, physiology, anatomy, biology, learning all the health science, chemistry, metaphysics, and physiology, studying the brain, neuroscience, learning the endocrine system, about how glands work. I had an opportunity to dissect every single major organ in the body. There's about 100 organs, and I've had an opportunity to get to about 60 of them. And with dissecting organs, you have to learn the functioning, how they're connected, how the body works. And we're going to be talking today about relationship. And that's very important because the body has
Right.
many multifunctions, and the body has many organs, and all of the organs work together in a relationship to bring harmony and homeostasis so that you can live peacefully, mind, body, soul, and spirit. I want to cover that as well. I want to talk about languages today because one of the things that helped me in my journey and all of my experiences in life is to learn language, etymology, the studying of letters and the principles of words and understanding the words so that we could get to the truth. In so many instances, and it's an enigma in life that people are diagnosed with disease. People are diagnosed with health issues, financial issues, relationship issues. People are going through negative situations in their life, but we never took the time out to go to the source to the problem to find out where this started. And with etymology, learning words, I was able to acquire knowledge and information on how to study languages. And all languages have a mother or a father. And what language do you speak? What language did it come from, and what language did that come from? Where did it grandfather in from? So that's what I started doing. I followed the breadcrumbs and trailed languages from English to the Latin to the Greek to the Septuagint to the Coptic, Synoptic languages, Egyptian Talagees, your Arabic, Aramaic, all the way back to original language called Hebrew. And I was shocked when I found out that Hebrew was the mother language of 6,000 Stanton languages. And I never knew that there was one language that started all the languages from the
Yeah.
earliest man, the earliest writings, the earliest times, and scribes and scrolls etched in stones, picture language, paleo. So when you go back to the source, you'll find out that there's a seed that creates a root, and the root can create a tree creates branches. Yes.
Well, what he was doing, he was trying to see what was going on. So what I think is happening is that we're recording, and
Hmm.
then it will upload afterwards.
Okay, not a
No,
problem.
that's doing now. So
Okay.
okay, go
All
ahead.
right, so it's they're probably not allowing us to go live like
Right,
on Facebook, Instagram. So what
right.
YouTube does is kind of like allow you to upload it, and they're putting it on as we're talking. So
Mm-hmm.
people are going to see the delay, which is
Right.
okay, as long as they get it. So with languages, I learned more about how to help people require the nutrients and minerals that the body and all your organs are looking for versus just medicating. Now, in the medical field, we're just going to prescribe drugs and do surgery. Now, and it's called preventative medicine. But if you technically look at the terminology of preventative medicine, what is preventative medicine? You're supposed to be preventing someone from getting worse or being sick or unhealthy. So we're using medication to help people to prevent them from dying. We're helping people to prevent them from getting worse. But what's happening is it's an oxymoron. It's really the opposite. The medicine has negative side effects. All medicine,
Right,
from basic Tylenol to Oxycontin. So being licensed in that field to work in the ER, work in emergency, hands-on with people dying, with people crying out for help. I had witnessed this many days, many months, within a year to 2 to 3, and watching people come in, walk in, and watching people die. I
right,
walked away from that field, became a natural doctor. I wanted to get more into natural medicine, more into the herbs, more into natural healing. How does the body self-heal? Just like when you cut yourself, the cut healed on its own. That is a symbol, that is a sign that the body will self-heal. So that's a little bit about the background. I don't want to spend a lot of time on that because I really want to get a lot of the information out about health and wellness. Your
right,
health is your wealth. Now, as a nutritionist, what I do is I teach people nutrients, which come from nature, which comes from the earth. The earth is where we come from as human beings. And under a microscope, I had an opportunity in biology and to look at human ashes that were donated for research and science. You look at the human ashes under a microscope, you can see every article component, every mineral, every component that comes out of the ground is found in ashes. And in class, when I was looking at that, and we have to list everything that we see in the human ashes and compare it to the dirt right outside of our classroom, it
Oh,
blew me away that there's a scripture and there's a quote that they say in churches at funerals: ashes to ashes, dust to dust, the earth that we return. And no wonder out of the ground is where we come from. So if we go back to the source of humans, humans come from the ground, the earth, not from apes, not from animals and tadpoles and fish and you know primitive people and the
right,
Cro-Magnum. We start walking with long arms and we evolve into humans because evolution is always constant. So is to devolve is constant. One thing that's constant about evolution is that light produces light. So a gorilla will forever produce a gorilla. An ape will forever produce an ape. Humans will always produce humans. So in biology and studies, I know there's a lot of philosophies and belief, and even it's religious because it's orthodox through theology. It's very threatened when you get to the terminology and the premises that human blood comes from human blood, not animals. And monkeys don't give
right.
you an
Mm-hmm.
orangutan can't give you a gorilla. So when I studied these things, you have to take the information that's presented to you and use what is called inductive reason or critical thinking. So many people do not do that, the inductive reason and critical thinking. So when we're diagnosed with a health issue, case in point, I submit to you that someone will say you are diabetic based on your A1C glycemic glucose numbers do not fit the average range that we want you to be. And that's called orthodox medicine. It's a way of thinking, it's a belief system, it's religion. Orthodox, it is what it is, etched in stone. It's the gospel that your A1C's glycemics have to be right here where we want them to be. And if you're not in range, we're going to call you diabetic or you have diabetes mellitus, which is a medical condition. So when I started studying the words, diabetes being Greek, mellitus being Latin, you're taking Greek and Latin and you're combining them together. And now we have a condition that Black people are the leaders of. Why do Blacks lead in high blood pressure, diabetes? Why are we the leaders of lupus and MS? If we ever study the words, And this is a quote: study to show yourself approved, rightly divide the words of truth. If you want to get to the truth of the matter, all mass and matter is made up of molecules. Molecules are forms of energy. So when you're dealing with energy, even the unseen things, molecules that you can't see that are micro, I have a microscope. I get a microscope and I put everything under the test. I microscope, I look at things on a more in-depth level. And that's how we need to treat life. Everywhere in life, in all aspects, all dimensions of life, every human being needs to use critical thinking, and your thoughts need to go deeper than the surface. We have to dig to get to the roots. Roots are under the ground. But where did the root come from? A seed. So it's a concept that the Greeks have used for many years to control people. And it's called the seed of the serpent. If you control the person's language, number one, you can control, number two, their thinking. If you can control a person's thinking, you can, three things you can do with that person: control their belief, their philosophy, and religion. Now, King Khalid, Queen Carmen, belief, philosophy, and religion are the same thing. They're one and the same. If you control a person's language, their words, you control
Yeah.
their thinking, you control their philosophy, belief, or religion. The fourth and final thing to control, total control over a person, whether it's one person, five people, a million people, 5 million, or a whole empire of people, generation, millions of people can be controlled. And this is the concept that the World Health Organization uses. It's the concept that the United Nations use this concept. Of 195 countries in the world, 193 are united as one nation. United Nations, 193 countries, they use this concept to control your behavior. Number four, you can control the way a person behaves by controlling their words, their language. Now, when you control people's language, you give them the word high blood pressure, you give them the word diabetes, you give them the word cancer, you give them the word monkey, turkey pox, chicken pox, pig feet pox. You can give them whatever you want. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious level 3.4 level. You can tell a person this is what you have. They will think. As the person thinks, so are you. Now, whatever you think becomes who you are. And the reason why this is a scientific and spiritual concept in the natural and the spiritual realm is because your thoughts is where everything starts. That's the seed is in your brain. So in order to formulate a thought, we are the only creatures on the planet Earth that have the power of inductive reasoning, critical thinking. We're the only planet on the planet Earth. We're the only creatures, living organisms that have the capability to have a brain that has ability to formulate a thought in half of a second. We can not only formulate a thought in half of a second, a millisecond, we have the capability of formulating 600,000 thoughts in a day. Our brain has 100 billion brain cells, and I've studied the brain, I've dissected the brain. We have 100 billion neurons, which are brain cells, and those brain cells hold information. The word cell, cell, is cellular. It means room, like prison
Okay.
cell. So in our brain, we can formulate and hold information, 6 trillion terabytes worth of information. No other creature on the planet can do that. The human being has free will. We have a spirit, and we have the capability of the most powerful tool on the planet out of all living species, and that is free will. The
Mhm.
free
That's
will
right.
to think what you want to think, believe what you want to believe, sit up, sit down, stand up, stand down, walk, crawl, run, fly, swim, go left, go right. We can do whatever we want because it's the free will of our brain. Now, the brain formulates a thought. In order to formulate a thought, it takes energy. That
Yeah.
energy transfers, energy transfers. The energy transfers to action. So if I think something, I can say it. The thought transferred into sound, which is a form of energy. If I think something and I actually do it, I process it and apply it, and I move my arms, I stand up. I thought about it before I did the action. Cause, effect, action, reaction. That goes in congruent with or parallel to disease. Disease is nothing but a reaction. It's an effect, cause, effect, action, reaction. So instead of just saying you have diabetes, instead of saying I am diabetic, I have high blood pressure, how about we as people, as human beings, use our brains, our thought process, and say, what is blood pressure?
Mhm.
Blood, pressure, two words. Does blood have pressure? Well, if blood is 92% water by volume, known as hemoglobin or plasma, how in the world can hydrogen, oxygen, which is water, have pressure? There is no pressure. Other
Mhm.
part of your body is platelets. Platelets is iron and calcium. Well, that comes from fruits and vegetables. Where is the concept of blood pressure? How does blood move? Blood moves by way of your heart. Your heart circulates the blood. What controls your heart? Your heart is a muscle. It opens and closes. It's a contraction. It opens to bring the blood in through the right atrium, and it closes as the blood passes through ventricles, chambers, and veins, and the aorta to go out and circle through the body. A circle, blood circulation. What controls the heart? Your medulla oblongata located in the brain. What controls your medulla? Your thoughts. So
Mm.
your heart controls the blood. Your blood is your life. Your life is your blood. So now we understand as you think, so are you. Your life is who you are. Your life is your blood. No one shares your blood. Your blood is personal. It's you. It matches your fingerprint, your identity. You're not identical to anyone on the planet. 7.6 billion people. There's not another fingerprint like yours, not another blueprint like yours on a cellular DNA level. Now we share chromosomes, we share traits and genes, eyes and hair, height, skin, cheekbones and creases and lines and eyes. So I want to encourage our listeners to rethink, am I really diabetic? Am I really high blood pressure? Because if you go back far enough to the seed of it, where did these words come from? The Greek and the Latin. What are they talking about? Um, a lot of people are texting me. They can't see us still. I don't know, but we won't worry about it.
That's weird because I just had somebody say they see me.
Okay, so these people just need to
That was
maybe
the
log
first
back.
clip. That was the first clip we
Oh,
did.
okay.
Yeah, it's 1 minute and something. Like I said, I think it's recording and then
Okay.
it'll upload.
Okay. So moving forward, I want people to reinvestigate how come none of our ancestors had these issues, diabetes, blood pressure, cancers, and corona, and sickness and disease like we're dealing with on a daily basis in every neighborhood, almost every household. The numbers are very alarming. The statistics are there that we are the leaders of all health issues. And I say we, the African Americans, the Black community, people of color,
Right.
brown skin, that's Latino, Hispanic as well, and Native Americans. We lead in all health issues. We are the strongest nations. We are tribal. We are the most powerful nation. We're the most powerful tribes. We come out of Africa. Africa is birthed out of Ethiopia. Ethiopia are three sons, Simeon, Levi, and Judah, the sons of Jacob, which is Yaqub or Israel. And when God made a promise to Abraham and Isaac, he told them that your seed will be the most powerful seed. Many nations, but there's one nation that is going to be the smallest nation, the most powerful nation. And that's why people of color in America are the minority. We are the
Mhm.
majority of the minority. There are more Asians in America than there are Black people. There are more Latino, Hispanics, and Caucasians, way outnumbered, triple, quadruple outnumber us. We are a single digit, and they're triple digits in numbers. They rank in the hundreds of thousands. And it's sad to say that in America, 330 something thousand people living in America. We're not half a billion. China's over a billion. India is the second largest. How is it that we are the sickest when we have the strongest immune system? How
Right.
is it that we're the most powerful? We are the best athletes. We're the fastest runners, the best boxers, golf. We dominate in tennis. We dominate in gymnastics, ice skating, basketball, football,
Everything.
everything. Everything we do. We're the best. Um,
At
we're the
everything.
best in finance. We spend
Yeah.
more money than anybody. We are
Yes,
the dollar.
we do.
We are the biggest,
Right.
strongest votes. We are the really the most powerful people on the planet, technically, in mass numbers. There are isolated cases of individuality that people will outdo better than what we can. But in mass numbers, we have the best uterus, we have the best testicles, the best penis, we
Mhm.
have the best vagina, the best breast, we have the best organs, and we multiply faster. And because the creator told us to be fruitful and multiply, I think that it's a disadvantage to us. Our lack of knowledge is why we're dying. We're not
Mhm.
dying from disease. We're dying from lack of knowledge that we don't know that we are supposed to be fruitful and multiply. Okay. So with that being said, I think I said enough. Let's turn it over to you all and you can just let's shoot some questions. I just wanted to open up that platform to kind of like spark people's attention and let's rethink. They did not have diabetes and cancers and high blood pressure in C-sections and epidurals and prostate checks in slavery. On plantations, they never did that.
Right.
Well, and that's true. And I before we get into the questions, I want to say my testimony. I suffer from lower back pain. Uh, knees will swell. I couldn't do squats to work out, so they kind of turned me from working out a lot. Um, my stomach was blowing up. I was walking around here looking like I was 5 months pregnant, and I'm a male. So people, I got Dr. Price, and he gave me a plan to go by. He gave me a detox, some all natural herbs, and I'm going to say now I have no pain in my lower back. I have no pain in my knees. I'm able to do squats now without them swelling up. I don't have to wear my knee braces no more. I actually can run. I do walking more now, and we gave up a
lot.
a lot. We gave up a lot of stuff. We changed our complete diet to the instructions that he gave us. And I'm 51 years old and I'm good. I'm telling y'all, I can move like I feel like I can move like I was when I was 20. And if you don't believe me, we can meet on the basketball court and I'll show you exactly how good I'm feeling. But I've been spreading the words about Dr. Price, and a lot of y'all are nervous to get off this medicine, but at the same time, you're knowing that this medicine is healing one thing but causing other problems for you, and you won't let go. You got to listen to what this man is telling you. This is the best way to go. We have changed our diet to plant based. No,
Mostly
yeah, most of we still
struggle.
transition struggling with it, but it's we majority is
Yeah,
plant based,
yeah.
and we have also eliminate the dairy as much as possible. I do cheat every blue moon with the cheese, but I do. I'm getting off of it. But we do have some questions for you, Doc. I'm gonna let my wife fire away and with the questions, and hopefully we can get some good answers for the people.
Okay. What is disease?
Okay, good question. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so disease is the word. It's a compound word, dis and ease. Anytime the body is out of sync or in diseasement, when you're healthy, a healthy body that's flowing in high frequency vibration, that body where all your organs are absorbing nutrients, the the human body, male or female, that's a healthy body that is healed, because the root word to healthy is heal, Heal.
Mm-hmm.
You're already healed and you're already healthy. We're always going to be first healed. We're always first healthy. We're born that way. The problem is our body goes into diseasement because the organs are not absorbing nutrients and minerals properly. Poor
Mm-hmm.
absorption of nutrients and minerals will allow your body to become acidic. So there's two things you can be. Healthy is alkaline. Sick
Okay.
or disease is acidic. The only source to disease is acid. So when you are acidic, you're going to be sick. Acid allows diseasement or disease in the form of bacteria, germs, E. coli, ptomaine, mold, mildew. It allows these issues to thrive in your body, and then the bacteria, living organisms, the germs, living organisms that are micro, you can't see them, parasites, anything that has anything to do with parasitism or parasitoids. You got bacteria, you have the form of ptomaine, mildew, mold, you have carcinogenics, pathogens, things that have access to your blood. The blood gives access or the pathway to your organs. So germs become pathogenic when they have access to your organs and cause the organs not to do their job. It's a dis-ease. Then you get diagnosed, and it starts with the letter D. I like to explain to people that words matter. Study the word to see if you can approve of it. Dissect the word. So A, B, C, D, one, two, three, four. The fourth letter is the letter D in all languages. So the Greeks say alpha, beta, gamma, delta. In the original language is aleph, bet, gimel, dalet. So dalet represents door. Delta represents four or door. Every door has four parts. Now, when you're looking at the word door for four parts, There are four parts to the human being: mind, body, soul, spirit. There are four parts to the source to the human being, or the essence of who we are, which is our blood. And the blood starts with the letter D, just like the four parts of the body starts with the letter D. Mind, body, soul, spirit starts with the word dichotomy. Dichotomy starts with the
Mm.
letter D to represent how the body functions in four different parts as one. One unit, to be whole, unity, one. So you could be strong. Where there's unity, there's strength. If your body is all together one, then you are strong. If your
Mm.
body is not together as one and it's broken up, then you are divided, divided, conquered. Division brings forth death, the letter D. So when you're dealing with the letter D for disease, disease has to find its way into the body to affect one of the four parts: your mind for mental health, your physical body for physical health, emotional or spiritual health, which is your soul and spirit. So then you're looking at your blood. The blood is broken up into four parts: hydrogen, oxygen, iron, and calcium. Iron and calcium is your platelets, hydrogen, oxygen is your hemoglobin, and those four parts is called DNA, the letter DNA. So disease has to go through a door, the mouth. It has to
Right.
find its way into your blood. Once it gets into the blood carries the sickness and disease through any of the organs only if you are acidic. But if you are alkaline, disease doesn't thrive because disease needs acid. Acid can only be present in the body if you put the acid in there or something that's acidic. Many of the foods that we eat are acidic. So you are
Mm.
what you eat. When you eat
Right.
acid or acidic foods, then disease can thrive. And we'll talk about some of those acidic foods. So disease is none other than a distraction. It is diseasement, the body not working in homeostasis, or your body not running smooth. And it's very easy to get rid of any disease, from AIDS to Zika virus. The reason is because disease can only thrive where there's acid. So if you alkaline your body with fruits, vegetables, nuts, and grains, nutrients from the earth, then disease won't be there and disease will disappear.
Okay. Okay. Next question is, what is iridology?
Yes, good question. Iridology is the study of the iris. The iris is the color parts of your eyes. And I think it's very befitting for us to talk about this today in health because Colorful Thoughts is the
Right.
name of your show, your channel. Colorful Thoughts. So we're looking at the eye so I can find out what's really going on inside the body.
Mm.
Um, your eye is a window to your soul. Your soul is your pineal gland. Your pineal gland is where your soul is because that is the essence, the depth, the nucleus of who we are as human beings, as a living creature with a soul and a spirit. That is your brain. Your pineal gland is the first thing to form at conception. When a sperm cell meets the egg, it fertilizes the egg. It's called a melanin explosion. And then the female egg explodes into particles, comes out of the fallopian, gets into the uterus, and forms a house around it called the womb. And then the egg comes back together and creates the embryo. The very first part of the embryo that's developed, the first organ before the brain, is the pineal gland. The pineal gland, and then the brain forms, and that's your conscious, your spirit, your soul. It's also known as the third eye behind the prefrontal lobe. Ironically, people of color have the largest prefrontal lobe. Brown eyes, brown skin, or melanated, or Hispanic and Latinos, people of color. So the more vitamin D from the sun is the number one source of energy. The most powerful form of energy is the sun. So the more sun, the more pigmentation, skin color, melanin you have, the more vitamin D. The more vitamin D, the more powerful that gland, which goes back to my premises that I submit, that people of color are the fastest runners. We're the most agilic. We have the reflex. We have the crossover. We have the swag, the way we walk, the way we talk. We can rap faster because and better because our brains can formulate thoughts faster than anybody. That's why Black people can rap. It's very difficult for a lot of Caucasians to rap at the level that we do. So they can formulate sentences and words. It's at a slower rate, so they call it country music. So country can rhyme, but they have to slow it down. But because of the thoughts and to tell the story. But we're storytellers because of the way our brain formulates thoughts so fast, so rapid, and we could, just like Tupac Biggie, but my E and the O skirt, so that's just who we are. So when it comes to um iris, I can look in your eyes and your brain records everything from conception up until right now in real time. So the iris has many, many fibers, thousands of little fibers. They go all the way around their eye and they're little lines. They start at the core, the pupil, and the lines go all the way to the edge of the iris. And then you're getting into the white part of your eye, which is the sclera. So in every little section, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, all the way around the clock, all the way around the eyes, these fibers coincide with every organ. So if I look at the iris and I go straight down into the eye, I can see your knee, your thigh, your bones, your
Oh
joints.
wow.
I can see your skeletal. I can see your blood. I can see your immune system. I can check your organs to see how they're functioning. So it's equivalent to a full physical examination. Iridology is equivalent to a full physical examination. I ask you none of your background, none of your medical history. I don't need to
Yeah.
ask you what's bothering you. Tell me
Right.
your symptoms. That's what we do in the hospital. And iridology is real, it's accurate, and I want to encourage people to reach out to me so they can get the iridology exam. And I don't have to be with you. You can take a picture of the eye and send it to me.
And me and my wife again. uh, we're a witness of this. This man, we took him. He didn't ask us any questions.
Mm-mm.
We sent him a picture of our eyes. I think it was like 3 days later. We was in the middle of Georgia doing some shopping, going to the car. This man called us back, gave us the results of what he seen from the picture of our eyes, and blew our mind. Because truthfully, I forgot all about the knees. I mean, they wasn't hurting at the time. They haven't been hurting in a while because I stopped working out. But he knew everything about us.
Yeah.
Only if he could see in our face when he was telling us, because we was like, "What? How do he know about this?" And I even learned some stuff about my wife that you never know. So I mean, he's 100% the truth.
Yeah.
So please, y'all, reach out to this man. His information will, being flashed. You can catch him on his page and stuff like that. But we got more questions for the people. Go ahead, Juan.
Yeah. Okay. How do you fight or battle diseases?
Okay, that's a good question. That's very important to the Black community and to all people around the whole planet. How do
Yes.
we battle disease? That is the number one question. And if you think about disease is health related. So when it comes to health, what is the most profitable, wealthiest industry out of all the corporations in the world? It's the health industry,
Yeah.
Right.
hospitals and the pharmaceuticals. They're
Mm-hmm.
$1 trillion business on treatment. The pharmaceuticals are making billions of dollars, and the health industry is making billions of dollars on research on how to battle disease, how to help disease. So in the hospitals, in the medical field, orthodox medicine, internal medicine, allopath medicine, what you learn is we're going to do an intake. An intake is when the patient comes to the hospital. Intake. We're going to do an assessment. That means an exam. So you're going to intake, assess, then you're going to diagnose, then you're going to medicate or surgery. So the protocol and the oath of medical physicians is practice prevention. Number one, let's help people to prevent from being sick and disease. That will be encouraging you to pray, meditate, get massages, relax, less stress, let some things go, get better rest and sleep, more water. An apple a day keeps the doctor away. That would be fruits and vegetables. Eat healthy. Change your control alt delete. Take control of your life. Use alternatives to what you've been doing. Your lifestyle, alternative lifestyle to a better holistic, healthy eating, plant based, more fruits and vegetables and juices, herbs, preventative medicine to prevent you to work on prevention. Practice prevention. That will also be change your environment. Sometimes people live in a hostile environment, a toxic environment, an acidic environment. You are a product of your environment.
Right.
Disease starts outside the body. It has
Yeah.
to find its way into the body. And
Mm-hmm.
disease can come from people. Disease can come from the things, the chemicals in your environment, the things that you're breathing, toxins. Disease
Yeah.
can come from all different variations or aspects of life. It could be people. A person in your life can be a disease because they could be very toxic and energy
Mhm.
transfer. Misery loves company. So a
Right.
lot of people are sick and not feeling good, thinking it's cancer, diabetes, or high blood pressure when it could be the person around you. It could
Right.
be the people, the company that you keep. I've had people, I've looked in their eyes and I'm like, wait, you're not sick. No, I am. I have A, B, C, X, Y, Z symptoms. These things are happening. I don't feel good. I said, I'm looking in your eyes. Your organs are functioning. I see where the problem is coming from. It's spiritual. The
Mm.
carnal doesn't understand the things of the spirit. A lot of times, disease can be spiritual, an attack on people's life. So what happens is that people are around negative influences, negative information, negative people, and that it will transfer to you, and then all of a sudden you become negative because from the neck down, the body is a reflection of your brain. As
Right.
a person thinks, so are you. So if you think you're sick, if you think you're ugly, if you think you're less than nothing, if you think that you have cancer, if you think you have corona, if you think you have whatever, then that's what's
Right.
going to happen to you. So
Right.
Right.
I'm encouraging people first be transformed by the renewing of the mind. How do
Mhm.
you battle disease? How do you attack health issues, whether it's mental health, physical health, emotional health, spiritual health, physical health? Change your thinking. Think on things that are true, just good report, virtue, praise. Think positive. Think that I got this, I can beat this. I want people to think I'm more than a conqueror. I have dominion over all sickness and disease. I am all that in a bag of chips.
Right.
So that way, if you think different, when you know different, when you know better, you think different, you have colorful thoughts.
Mm.
Color, color, you can only see color with light. You can't, without light, there's no color. Because if there's no light, everything is black and dark and total darkness. When you shine the light on something, you illuminate, you got to get
Mhm.
illuminated in your thinking. Now
Right.
let's think color. Where is colors coming from? The earth, the rainbow, nature. Nature is a multifaceted, a multi-splendor of colors. And so when you start thinking different and you open up your mind and understanding and stop leaning to limited thinking and
Mhm.
leaning not on your own thinking, just open up your understanding to a higher level of thinking, a higher conscience, you can transform your body and get rid of disease, get rid of depression, which is negative and dark, get rid of mental anguish, get rid of anxiety. Be anxious for nothing.
Mhm.
Worry about nothing. You don't add a day to your life by worrying. A lot of people's health issues is that they worry too much. They worry
Right.
about this, they worry about that. They worry, worry, worry. You're a worry wart, then you break out with warts and they call it monkeypox. And it's all because of stress. Stop
Mm.
stressing. Let go and let the universe, let the creator, let nature have its way. You naturally will heal because of seasons. There's a time to die, a time to be born, a time to cry, a time to laugh, a time to separate, a time to be married and come together. And we're going to move right into the relationship. But you got to have a personal relationship with your body. Know
Correct.
your body, just like a personal relationship with your creator. You know, the creator, Elohim, the most high God, he says, if you love me, you got to know me. To know
Mm.
me is to love me. That's personal. Not through the church, not through religion or ecclesia, not through a building, not through people, the leaders, the elders, the ministers. They got issues. We are taking counsel and advice from the foolish, from the wicked, from people who have personal issues, and then we take their advice, and then that transfers to us. That's why the
Right.
king wants to have a personal relationship. You need to have a personal relationship with your body. I know my body. I know when I don't feel good. I
Right.
feel my throat. I feel the mucus. I feel tired. I'm listening to my body. This lump wasn't there before. This wasn't here before. There's pain. My stomach, my colon, my
Hmm.
chest, the gas. It's not a heart attack. It's acid,
Right.
heartburn, acid indigestion. My heart and my stomach are right next to each other. You got to study to see what
Mm.
you really approve of versus, oh, this is cancer. Oh, this is high blood pressure. Oh, congestive heart disease, kidney failure, renal failure. You have disease. Who told you that you were naked? Who told you that you were
Come
sick?
on.
Who told you that you had diabetes? Who told you that you were lupus? Lupus
Mm.
means wolf. Are you a wolf?
Yeah.
Multiple sclerosis, MS. Who told you you had MS? Well, I can't hold anything and I have no activity, my strength, my muscles, my nerve system. No, you're just lacking nutrients. You can
Right.
Mm.
change disease by changing your thoughts. Think that you're happy. Think yourself into health. Not hypnotize yourself, but know that you know that you know your faith. You mix it with the work. I'm going to drink water. That's work. I'm going to eat healthy. That's work. I'm going to put away foolish things and childish things. I'm going to mature spiritually, mentally. I'm going to stop eating Takis and Cheetos, Gatorade, and Frappuccinos. I'm going to eat healthy. I'm going to eat fruits and vegetables because my organs are looking for nutrients and
Right.
minerals, not acidic foods, toxic foods, fast foods, foods that are high in saturated fats. And you got foods that are corn syrup, starch, fructose, sucrose, sucralose, medium,
Yeah.
low, high in fat and skinny and thin, sucralose, ascorbic acid. You got citric acid, folic, mal. Mal means bad, bad acid. You're putting all of this processed stuff in your body.
Right.
You ask yourself why I don't feel good. You got
Mm,
to rethink, repent, go back. What did I do? What did I put in my body? Because metabolism is a process of turning food into energy. Well, I have
Right,
low
right.
energy. The doctors call low energy high blood pressure. Well, I'm so tired and fatigued. They call that lupus, and you got a vitamin D deficiency. This is all foolishness. This is lies. Let every man be a lie. Let God be true. And the truth has made you free. If you want truth, you need to know the truth about disease. You only feel
right.
bad because you put something in your body. It became your blood. Your blood is who you are, and your blood is moving slow. Your body moves slow. Your brain moves slow. You eat so much beef from the cow. You eat so much dairy, cheese, butter, ice cream, cheese, butter, ice
I was
cream,
gonna
butter,
ask
butter,
about
ice cream,
that.
cheese, 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 cheese on the grits, cheese on the broccoli, cheese on the French fries, cheese, 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 butter, 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 butter.
Butter,
You put
butter, butter, butter.
dairy into your bloodstream, you become a cow. You think
Wow.
slow. Somebody say, "Yo, King Khalid, how you doing?" Moo, moo. I don't feel like getting out the bed.
Right.
I'm just tired. You get it? So, disease. How do you battle disease? How do you fight disease? Change your thinking. Number one,
Right.
let's rethink. Let's go back thoughts, colorful thoughts, illuminated thought. Let's
Mm,
enlighten ourselves to become illuminated from above. Let's open up our understanding, and all you're getting, get an understanding. If you know better, you do better. Let's get the knowledge on how to eat. And that's why I'm a nutritionist and I teach people what to eat and not to eat.
okay. Well, you did touch on some things about the dairy products, but how does that affect women in their hormones?
Oh, wow, that's a good one. So, hormones are secretions of fluids that come from glands.
Mm-hmm.
Women have more glands than a man.
Yep.
Women have more hormones than a man. Women has everything a man has, but a man doesn't have everything a woman has.
Mm.
This is the science. This is the facts. Man came out of the ground. Elohim
Come on.
breathed. Elohim echta ruach dam. God breathed into man's nostrils, Dam, D-A-M, Dalet Aleph Mem, which is man, the first form, Adam, the first, the beginning, A, Aleph, Alpha. The first form of man, or life or blood, Dam is life or blood. The first form of it is Adam. He came out of the ground. The woman, the female, comes out of the man. Scientifically, spiritually, and wholeheartedly, it is an absolute emit, E-M-E-T, emech, or Aleph Mem Aleph Tav. What you're looking at is the truth, the absolute truth about what a woman is. A woman is not what Latin word woman or wife. Wife is woman Latin. I speak the Latin and I speak the Greek. The Greek is Eve. Eve, the Greeks came in the Septuagint and Synoptics and changed it from Bereshit, which is the beginning, and put the label on Genesis. So everything you're reading in these books is Greek, the Greek way of
Mm-hmm.
thinking. So they said the first woman was the Eve. She came second after the man, the morning, the earth, the beginning of the day is the man. The evening after the morning is Eve. So they created the word Eve to represent a woman, and that's not who she is. Elohim instructed Adam who she was. Adam, you're all by yourself. You're single. You're one unit. I want to double you and make you strong. Two come together, and two brings forth unity and strength. So Adam named her Isha for feminine version of Ish, which is male. Isha is feminine, female. Isha like Keisha, Felicia, Isha, Keisha, Kalisha. So then you have Isha, Ek is ECH, like Shema, Israel, Adonai, Ek, Ha, Hero, Israel, the Lord our God is one, O-N-E, singular, one unit, Ek. So when you learn the language, Isha, Ek, Zir, Zion, strength, the strength of the man is the woman. The woman is the strong man. So women have more organs. Her brain functions different. She can function on both sides of the brain at one time. A man can't do that. They're either left brain, focus, attention, or the right brain, emotional. That's why men can't be emotional and get in a conversation and focus at the same time. They'll call I can't think straight and be emotional at the same time. But a woman can be emotional and focus and remember everything. Yeah, you said woo woo woo, but what about this? And she can cry at the same time. And you hurt my feelings, and you ain't gonna get out. So that's why women are stronger mentally than men.
Okay.
Women can produce a child, a man cannot. Women can birth, men cannot. That is the most severe chronic level of pain that can ever be imagined is childbearing. To go through the birth channel, to open up the uterus, to open up the vaginal, to stretch it to great length, because the vagina is only 3 by 5. It's rectangular on the cervix, and it can stretch to get, it's amazing. A woman can endure that type of child labor. That's strength right there. Another thing about a woman is she has a mammary gland. Men don't have mammary glands. So don't believe it when they say men can get breast cancer. That's a lie. That's a bunch of foolishness because the mammary gland, duh. They don't have milk ducts, duh. And they don't have lymph nodes where their breast is located, duh. So I've studied physiology. I've dissected the body. So when I hear stuff, it sounds good. Everything that glitters ain't gold. Talk is cheap. Put up, set up. I'm from the streets. You see this on my hat. Come on, don't get it twisted.
Show, baby.
Do not let the smooth taste fool you. I just look like don't mean nothing, but I want to encourage people. Let's keep it 100. Stop making up stuff that sounds good, because now you got black men believing they got breast cancer. Now a woman has ovarian gland that produce an egg. The woman's ovaries, she has to have two hormones that men do not have: progestin, estrogen. Men have testosterone. A woman has testosterone because she comes out of a man. That's what makes her strong and tough. So when to the glandular system, women hold way more than what a man does. That's why the women are the strongest species on the planet. Now, for the sake of the argument, who is the strongest women? The more skin color, the more melanin. They will lie to a black woman and say you have a vitamin D deficiency, and a black woman can be easily manipulated. And that's why the creator said, beware of wolves that creep in unaware. They lead and make you go astray to every wind of doctrine. Doctrine is religion. That's why medicine is orthodox. Orthodox religion, orthodox medicine, because it's the gospel to tell a woman she has a vitamin D deficiency. How can you have a vitamin D deficiency when you have skin color, which is from the sun, which is pigmentation? Duh, vitamin D. It's in all your organs. Eat an apple, vitamin D. Eat spinach, vitamin D. Every grain from the earth gets its nutrients from the sun, and that's called energy. Photosynthesis, transfer of energy, the minerals in the soil. So what do women have to offer to the game? They have way more than what a man can. They have life. They offer life. Nurture, nutrients. Women nurture. They are the lovers. Women can love better than a man. Women are better committed, loyal, faithful than a man. There's so many attributes that women have, and all of these, the characteristics, the fundamental building blocks of a woman on a cellular molecular level come from the hormones. Man, that's why women are so amazing. So if men can know this piece of information, they will cherish the woman as a because every lion knows where his meal comes from. Lions don't hunt. Lions don't even run fast enough to go chase nothing down and go get it. The women are the one going shopping. The women are the one finding food. The women are the one that finds shelter. The women are the one that's going to produce and nurture and take care of the babies. It's the women that will allow the lion to come and eat first and sit at the table and roar to make his presence known. That's the purpose and duty of a man, is to be present, to make your presence known, because it puts a fear in the rest of the community that they see that woman, they're not going to mess with her because they know the lion, the king, is right there to protect them. On the chessboard, the queen is the baddest piece. Is
Mhm.
get the game of chess is all about the king? Nah, he's gonna
Nah.
sit in the house and castle. He
Right.
gonna sit and have his guards up. He gonna be sitting right in front of the TV watching football. But I tell you this, a woman, she got all the moves. She can move anywhere. She can move faster. She can leap, bound. She runs faster as a lioness, and she's all knowing. The woman's got to use discernment. She knows when a man is lying. She knows when he's cheating. The men don't even understand how they know that because God has given the woman a gift of discernment like any other.
Yeah.
Back in the 1500s, they killed them, said they were witches and they were practicing divination of spirits. And that's why they changed it up in 1600 through King James to humanitarian efforts and said only certain things come out by fasting and praying. We're no longer going to kill the women and lynch them and burn them alive and say they were witches because they knew that we were cheating. They said, well, we'll give them a little court hearing and then we'll just starve them and whatever that's inside of them, making them know things that they should know that they did not witness, we'll bring it out of them. So women have the intuition, the intellect in their hormones, in the glands, the pituitary gland, the pineal gland, which is the strongest master gland. And women's glands move faster because their hearts move faster, their blood moves faster than a man. And women are the fastest species. And the hormones are very powerful when you get nutrients, minerals, and vitamins. Like seeds feed the hormones. Zinc is the number one mineral for, and I've studied zinc. I've studied all minerals and vitamins. I memorized them. I memorized the periodic table of all of the elements of from 1 to 118. And what we need to know is that if we can get this information to our people, our community, forget who we are, we're going to put our confidence back into the community so we know that we are the baddest people on the planet. We are the healthiest. We have the best immune systems. We have the best prostate, the best ovaries. That's why Black men lead in prostate, because all clinical studies, Queen, Carmen, all clinical studies in America are based on the white man only. So when they test the prostate of a man, they're going to say, oh, your prostate is too large. It's enlarged. It's too big. Because the PSA reading, the standardized assessment test of the prostate, it comes from the white man with a small penis, and this white guy had a small waistline, like a 22, 24-inch waistline. That's where
Uh-huh.
the body index came from. So everybody with a waistline larger than 24, 26 inches, if you're not a size 0 or a 2, male or female, then they're going to say you're overweight, morbidly
Right.
obese, and all of that is because the studies come from the white man. So if the normal prostate came from a small penis, what does that say for Black men who are endowed in mass numbers? In mass numbers, we're not talking about every single Black man. I'm talking mass numbers. Mandingo, Sunni, Patu, the Futu, the Gumbuni tribes. The Black man, the dark skin, gives off a more powerful glandular system. So the prostate gland is going to be larger because of the melatonin effect, the vitamin D effect. That's why Black men are larger endowed. And we were designed by the Creator to be fruitful and multiply because He knew we were going to be the smallest nation. We were going to be under attack. We were going to
Right.
be a threat to the whole world. So they want to kill us faster, remove the Black man from the equation, remove the Black man from the family, put them with other people, put men and men together, and remove the Black man so the Black woman is left vulnerable without to procreate. Rip the Black woman's uterus out. She's the leader of hysterectomy. Black women are the leaders of being diagnosed with fibroids. That's a lie. Oh, I saw it. No, you saw an image, a two-dimensional image. A picture's worth 1,000 words. Oh, but I have a lump and I look pregnant. No, you're gas. That's gassy. You're that's
Yeah. I
so
know.
cold plated and you carrying around gas. You need to detox. You need to stop lying to yourself. Know your body so when you know better, you do better. Because they're gonna rip your uterus out. They take your ovary to have like hundreds and hundreds of thousands of eggs, and they go send it to test tubes and labs and procreate you and a
Oh,
clone you a mirror image of your chromosomes in somebody else, and they took your ovaries and never gave it back. Black women need to wake up. We need to wake up melanated community of our people to stop letting them cut on you. It's medicine and surgery when necessary. That's not the first oath. The oath is practice prevention, do no harm. Let's go back. Let's repent. Let's go back to where we came from, and let's get back to where our ancestors had cod liver oil, castor oil, prune juice. They dished with vinegars, and we have natural nature to go back to the earth. When we're sick, let's go home. So I encourage people to use nutrients and minerals. Apples are high in potassium. Your glands love potassium. So an apple a day keeps the doctor away. If you eat an apple and eat the black apple seed, the black seed of the apple, crush it up, blend it up, put it in the juicer, chop up the core, the stem, put all of that in the blender, and you drink all of that, man, I tell you, you just fed your ovaries, you fed the mammary gland, you fed your thyroid gland. Stop letting them tell you that you are hyper, Hashimoto, so they could take your thyroid and put you on levothyroxine and put you on medication for the rest of your life. That's called residual income. I mean, they are
Right.
multi-level marketing us. They're going to make money off of us, blacks, because they're going to say something wrong with your thyroid, you're overweight, your thyroid, your body temperature, your thyroid. Oh, you don't feel good, low energy, your thyroid. Your thyroid has nothing to do with those symptoms.
Wow.
Thyroid is the gland that produces a cell for your immune system. It don't have nothing to do with your weight. It had nothing to do with you having a hot flash. It had nothing to do with you feeling you're ugly or feeling like a man or an X chromosome or Y X chromosome. That thyroid ain't got nothing to do with nothing other than your immune system. But they will lie to you and put you on medicine for the rest of your life and make you think you can't take it or take yourself off of it. So we got a lot of learning to do. We got to relearn. We got to be reprogrammed. We have
Right.
been desensitized and they've etched it in our brain and our thinking that we are sick. We're not sick. We're more than conquerors. We have dominion over sickness and disease.
Mm.
Right.
Thank you for that.
Yeah, for sure. That was a
The
lot of
words of Dr.
information.
Price.
You best believe it.
Mm-hmm.
Just me want to reply is just people. We have to, for us to come back to the king and queen. We have to take care of our bodies.
Right.
Once we start learning how to take care of our bodies, then we're going to pass that down to the next generation, and it's going to keep going like a domino effect. Um, it's very important. Like I said, once again, I'm a witness of what he's talking about because he's also the family doctor, our family doctor, and we have been following his instructions very well to the fullest of the best of our ability. And like I said, my pain, I could speak on about me. My wife had to speak on her own, but I've been dealing with this back problem since high school. I'm 51 years old. I've been dealing with this for 30 some plus years. For him to come in and within probably, I say, 40,
Mm.
60 days, pain is gone. My knees pain just started probably last year. Um, he knocked that out of the box. And I always dealt with high cholesterol all my life. Every time I go to the doctor, I'm thinking, okay, I think I did good this time. They were like, nope, cholesterol's still high. Dr. Price came in a couple of days ago, gave us another
Yeah.
exam, and said, "Boy, your cholesterol is low." Boy, that was the most happy moves I ever had
Yes, this is
in
looking
a
better.
long time because I've always been battling trying to get my cholesterol level down, and that's been the biggest battle that I have had so far. But it is down, and that was very. I was happy to hear that big time. But people, I'm his information is being flashed across the screen. Please reach out to the doctor. That's change our way of eating, so we can change our way of thinking, so we can live longer. Cause so that's another reason why I reach out to Dr. Price because men in my family are sick by 40 and they dead by 65. And I'm not trying to be in that category at all. I'm trying to get to 100 something. Yes, I said 100 something. And I want to be able to move around. I want to still have my mind. I still want to be able to get out and go out the door, drive, and still be as I am and not have to really depend on other people. So it's very important what this man, just Dr. Price, just spoke on, especially with the women because I know my baby with these hot flashes. So, y'all gentlemen, y'all, if you got a woman that
Yeah,
deals
that's
with
all
hot flashes,
hormonal. And a lot of these diseases and these health issues that we're dealing with, they're going to be corrected once we change our diet. And that's why you all are feeling better. The eye exam did expose the source to your problem versus me saying, oh, you're high blood pressure, diabetes, cholesterol. I know the cholesterol's up, but that's just plaque inside of the blood vessels, veins, and arteries. Where did that plaque come from? Got to do the math. Let's go back. Where did the apple come from? The apple came from the stem. Where did this stem from? The stem came from a branch. The branch It came from the trunk, the tree, and the tree came from the roots, and the roots come from a seed. The way this thing starts is exactly how it ends. So if you start eating healthy, the end of the matter is healthy. But if you start to feed off with some bad food, well, cut yourself open, dissect your body, and on an autopsy, they're going to see acid. That's called toxicology. They don't see cancer. Toxicology don't show diabetes and blood pressure and cholesterol. A coroner, coroner or the medical examiner in postmortem, when they do cause of death, they don't write that on the death certificate. They don't write corona. They don't write monkeypox or AIDS. They look at your blood. Toxicology will show how acidic you were, which one of them organs became acidic and failed. Two major organs that if they fall, you die. That's your brain and your heart. When your brain becomes acidic, it's because your brain has tiny little blood vessels, not veins, not arteries. Vessels are small branch. That little tiny branch, like a twig, those vessels burn from the acid. Your brain is 80% water, which is hydrogen oxygen called cerebellar fluid in the cranium, the corpus callosum, and inside of the neocortex. All of that water needs to be alkaline so you can think better and make positive thoughts, colorful thoughts, more illuminated decisions, alkaline decisions. So your money becomes alkaline, cause, effect, action, reaction. Your relationships become alkaline, cause, effect, action, reaction. If you're acidic in your brain, you're going to make acidic reactions. You'll pick the wrong people to be around, the wrong music to listen to. You will be attracted to like matter. The law of attraction. You're going to gravitate to what's inside of you. It's going to gravitate what's on the outside. I'm attracted to this nasty, stupid music. I'm attracted to nasty, dumb people, acidic people. I want to be around acidic people because I'm full of acid. But if I'm alkaline, you're going to miss me with all that. I'm solo sucker free. My circle just became very small. I don't run with acidic people. I don't want to be around you because you have no conversation. I don't want to talk about how to do this and do that all day that's not making any production. I want to be
Right.
productive. I want to be around like-minded people, and that's what we want to be, like-minded,
Right.
having one mind. So where there's unity, there is strength. We can strengthen our community, but if we're all divided and separated, over here we believe this, over that we believe this, we're that. It's all of this division. The enemy comes in and conquers us, and our relationships are going to be destroyed. They want to destroy our relationship. They do not want us to relate to one another or communicate properly. They want us to be different minds, different mindset, double-minded, unstable. So when we're all double thinking, we're all over the place in our community, then we're all going to be disconnected and be dysfunctional. So the letter D with door, dysfunction, disease. Um, we are we're dissolving our community. We are disconnected. We are destroying ourselves that leads to death. These are doors. And we want to get back to the root cause. And that's what I was able to do for you all. And the more alkaline you all become, the more alkaline everybody around you is going to become because we're going to
Right.
transfer this energy and leave it behind. And I guess we can move into relationships now.
Well, one thing I wanted to say is my husband and I, we are not on any medication.
None. I don't
We
pop
don't
them.
take medication for high blood pressure or high cholesterol.
None.
We take no medication.
And
None.
you all are feeling good and you're still alive.
Still alive, feeling
We
good.
are. I can say I've lost about 30 pounds,
Yes.
and
Yeah. And the
and
reason is because the weight is just acid. It's just toxic waste. Remember,
right,
I was saying metabolism is the process of turning food into energy. You have positive energy, which is emotion. You have stored negative energy is stored. So all of the bad stuff we've been eating, we store it up in our saturated fat cells, the thighs, the butt, the hip, the gut, the chest area, the neck. So when you detox, the letter D, you opened up that door to go back. You went back. You went back by getting rid of the toxins. I went through a door that was full of toxins for years. Now I'm going through a revolving door. Revolve, I'm going back. I'm repenting. I'm going backwards to get back to the healthy side. And that's why the weight came off because you became alkaline.
yeah, it's not it's a slow process, and I know people say the faster you lose weight, the faster you gain it back or anything like that, but it's a slow process because we're making changes slowly, but we're making changes. Small steps make results regardless.
Yeah.
I haven't had a soda for about 3 months. I did.
Wow. Wow.
I'm so
He's
happy.
clapping. So and I don't crave for it. I used to crave, used to want it. I had to have it's like a drug. So now it's to the point where I don't even crave for sodas or anything
Yes,
like
soda is a drug. It's one of the worst liquid drugs out there. It's
that. Yeah,
liquid crack.
yeah. So with that being said, we're gonna go into relationship. What is relationship?
Well, my thoughts and my definition, I'll give you my opinion. Normally, I don't. I never give opinions for anything, but this is not a matter of getting truth or fact on this issue because this is just my personal opinion. I believe a relationship is exactly what the word is. It's a compound word, it's two parts relationship. You can even break that first prefix into relate. Re is to go back. The letter R in the original language means to think.
Mm-hmm.
The letter R is resh. Resh is to think. It's the R. R means to think, one who thinks. So if your name starts with the letter R, you are a thinker. If you even have the letter R in your name, like Carmen, then you are one who thinks.
I do.
Now, yeah, every letter is a word. Every letter has an attribute or a characteristic. Every letter is the building blocks and the fundamentals of life. The whole universe is based on letters and numbers. So
Mm-hmm.
F1 is carbon, iron, C is carbon, H is hydrogen. So every letter represents something. So when you hear the letter R, then you get to the letter E, which is the fifth letter. Fifth is grace. The fifth letter is the hey. Hey is from above. Hey means it comes from above, that which is above. It represents the letter H. H is heaven or high. So when you hear the letter E, read R-E,
Hold
you
on
have
for a minute, Doc.
I'm sorry.
Your mic out of something you're not
My
coming
mic
in
is good
clear.
now.
Yeah,
No, you're not coming
you're
in.
not coming in clear
Can you
anymore.
hear me now? Is this clear?
I mean,
We
we
can
can hear
hear
you,
you.
but you're just not coming in clear. It's like the mic went out.
It's
I
like
mean,
you're.
went real
What
low.
about now?
It's the same. It's like you're coming through the iPad versus the
Through the thing.
panel.
Yeah, I don't know what.
Maybe you have to push mute on one of your instruments. Mute
Yeah.
out one of yours. If you got two devices going, you'll get feedback.
Keep talking.
Yeah, mute one of your devices and see if it gets better with the sound. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Well, yeah,
Yeah,
we'll
we
figure
can
this out
still. Yeah,
later.
we
We can
can
Did
still
still
it
hear
hear
just
you.
you.
start doing this?
Say it again.
It just started doing this?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it just started doing it. Just all of a sudden, it started doing it.
Wow.
Yeah,
yeah,
you was clear all the way through until I just
yeah.
told you hold up for a
Um,
minute, and
Okay,
everything
what about
seemed
now?
to. It's still doing the
it's
same,
the
but
same, but it's still on the board. We still hear you through, on the iPad. And I'm sure everybody else can hear you as well. It's just not coming
Okay,
in.
I'm hoping that it's you all system that something's going on, maybe
Right.
some feedback on your end. But it looks like my mic is registering real loud, so I'll just keep talking. But
okay.
when you say relate, um, talking about the letter L, to lead or to learn or to listen. These are words
Mm-hmm.
that start with the letter L, which means lead. So when you are in a relationship, you should lead by thinking first.
Right.
When you think and you're using your thoughts, colorful thoughts, illuminated thoughts, you are going to think a certain kind of way, your mind. So relationship starts in your mind. This is my
Right.
opinion, based on the word. You have to lead the relationship with the way you think. So when you're thinking, I'm attracted to this person, I'm attracted to this situation, this community, this situation, because relationship is not just one-on-one with a person. You could be in a relationship with a business, a relationship with a job, a
Right.
country, a people. But when it comes to individuals, one-on-one, two people come together, they have to be like-minded. If two can agree, they can walk together. So
Right.
agreement has to start here, not agreeing with the body or the elbow. We have matching kneecaps. We want to agree in our mind. So relationship starts in the mind. That's my opinion, based on the word. Etymology, studying the words to dissect it to see how I can approve of the word relationship and the conditioning of it. What's the terms and condition of a relationship? An agreement. So an agreement has to be mental. So if two people can mentally agree, then that's where energy starts in the mind. There's a
Mm-hmm.
going on. There's a relationship because we can relate. Relate means to be back with, to go back to something. To I need to. Where did I come from? Where did this come from? How do we bind together? How do we agree? So it comes from the Latin word, and the Latin word comes. They birthed out in the French. The French comes from the Latin. It's relation. Relation in French comes from the Latin to relate, to compare, to agree, like matter. Any two things that agree can walk together. That's called a compound.
Right.
Compound molecules, they agree. Complex is not in agreement. They don't agree. So they flow when it's an agreement. So you can flow with somebody, you can vibrate with somebody, you can have frequency, and you can understand frequency sound. You can understand a person when you can relate to them. And then a ship is anything that flows on water with vibration, anything that's together. A ship carries. Ships are vessels that carry something across water. Water is a wave pattern, it's frequency. My name means water, Lamar, it's ocean, sea. So water is our blood. Our blood is 92% water. So something in our blood to be able to carry with the same type of agreement with someone else's blood. So blood on blood, blood is thicker than water. So when it becomes together and flows together, that's a relationship. Now, relationship is based on principles. The number one principle of a relationship should be love. Love
Right.
doesn't keep a record of wrong. Love proves all things. Love covers. Love will carry you through something.
Yep.
Love is commitment. Love is loyalty. That's a principle. Love is faithfulness. That's a principle. Love is honor and truth. Love will prove everything to come together. Love
Right.
is patient. Love is not just commitment, but it's loyalty. The letter
Right.
L, loyalty, lead. That's why the letter L is in relationship. Part of
Mm-hmm.
a relationship is to be loyal and faithful to something. So when you have all of these attributes and characteristics and principles, you can have a really good relationship. Without these principles and characteristics of love being number one, the most powerful form of energy is love, well, then there's no relationship.
Mm-hmm.
There's a communication system. There's a
There we
there's
go.
an environmental situation. There's an acquaintance. But when you love someone or you know them. You got to know what you're related to. You got to be able to communicate. If there's no communication and no frequency like matter, then you can't communicate. You can't have a relationship. So a relationship is based on communication. So I encourage people to communicate. Be an effective communicator. People who don't communicate, they're bad in relationships. People who don't know what faithfulness is and how to love themselves, they're not going to be good in a relationship. I say relationship first starts with yourself. You got to know
Mm-hmm.
yourself. And your confidence has great recompense and reward. When you know who you are, you will love a person better. You can
And
love.
and I agree with that too. And me and my guys were just talking last night about communication. Um, and that's something that I learned in the past to strengthen in my relationships. I think sometimes when it comes to people, we don't try to learn the lesson from our last relationship. We only look at the negative things that came out of, but the negative things can be a positive thing for your next relationship if you just recognize what it is. And that's one thing I think I took time for myself to grow because I was the type guy, it's my way in or the highway. You're going to do as I tell you, or you're going to get up on my face and in my house and we done. And sometimes I would be that disrespectful, where as they leaving, the other chick was coming in
Woo.
just to show them I ain't playing no games. But at the same time, I realized my relationship was going to hell because of my communication. It wasn't a right way to communicate. Um, and I think I took a lot of my childhood problems through my adulthood dealing with women because I had a bad relationship with my mother. So I didn't know how to really, and I didn't have a man in the home to teach me how to be a man and to how to respect. But once I sat back and learned how to communicate more, then my relationship started getting better and better. Then I started realizing it was more me than them. So once I got that communication down pat, here I am now, and I could say this, and I could not just saying this because she's sitting next to me, but I have told other people myself this is the best one here, because this marriage here is 100% where I wanted to be in my last marriage, but I could never get it because our communication was terrible. We didn't know how to communicate toward each other. And then when it's one just trying and the other one not trying, it caused more problem. You start pulling back, and that's what I did because I just didn't see that that type of level of commitment and communication coming the way I would like it to be. So I know that's very,
Absolutely. Yeah, and you said something that's key, King. You said you had to learn, and you learned from your experience. All of the decisions that you make in the past mold and shape the person who you're going to become in the future. So life experience, we learn. The letter L, learn. And then we are better learned. When we're better learned, we're better leaders. When we're better leaders, because we've learned something, we've matured, not just mentally, spiritually, emotionally, but we've overcome the past. We went through a lot in the past. So we learned from the mistakes from history to make us a better lover, to be a better lover in a better relationship. You can
right,
love better when you've learned from the past. All of those relationships, they weren't bad. You weren't bad. You were learned that way. That's what you learned coming up. You didn't have the
right,
example from the father to teach you how to be a lover and a man to cherish a woman. So you had to learn from the rap music, your boys, your
correct.
influences. The streets had to
Hmm.
teach you how to love a woman. If we learn how to love a woman from the streets and from music, we're in trouble because Motown is gone. We got this new stuff out. It's ridiculous. The rap music and our hip hop music does not teach a man how to love a woman.
No,
Marvin Gaye is gone. The Shy Lights and the Tower of Power and you know well, we grew up Earth, Wind, and Fire and Marvin Gaye. That stuff, the love songs, we don't have that. So our new generation has no clue, or they don't understand the ethos of what a relationship really is. So then you got a lot of women who are not taught about men, how men are going to suffer. Men will suffer and work to the sweat of their brow because of the curse that's on a man from Adam,
Right.
generation through slavery. It's something in the DNA chromosomes of our blood that makes the cells, that give our brain cells a perception on what a man is. And if a woman doesn't really know what the authenticity or authentication of a man is, you don't know the authenticity of what a man is. Your perception is he's a dog, he's gonna cheat, don't trust him, he just wanna have sex, he got something on the side, he ain't gonna be around long, I'm gonna be carrying this baby, it's gonna be drama, and I gotta compete with a bunch of other women. That's not what a man is. And men don't know that. So we got to get a school together, which we're going to be developing. That's why I'm the doctor for you all now. We're going to be building up a community. We're building up our own nation. We're going to build up centers on our own land, sovereign private sector land. We are teaching young men how to pull their pants up, stop smoking all of this weed that's got your brain cells screwed up with all of this THC, hallucinogenic factors that is taking us away from cognition to love and to be alkaline. Because when we're acidic, we don't know when a woman is going through a hormonal issue, how to love, embrace
right.
versus come at her and attack her and out with you, I could get something better. That's not love. What we want to educate people on, like what you all are learning, I am so impressed with your relationship. When I came out to your facility, when I came out to your compound, when I came out to your estate, I was just blown away by what I was looking at. It's breathtaking. You can feel the love when I stepped on your property. When
Mm.
I came into your your edifice, the mansion. I was like, this is not just a house. I understand what Luther Vandross was talking about. A house is not a home. You
Right.
guys have a home. That was not a mansion. That was not a house. To the average thinker, the carnal thinking, he was like, wow, look at this big old crib. Look at this big mansion. No, this is a home because when I walked in there, I felt the energy and the presence of love. The spirit of love was there. And I watched you two. It wasn't fake. It wasn't phony. It wasn't, we got a doctor, we got doc here, let's put on the front. No, I felt it. I know a game recognized game. I know a front when
Right.
I
Right.
walk in relationships, I see the fakeness and the phoniness and the extra, the overkill. You all were so authentic in the relationship, the commitment, the communication. It's like you didn't even have to talk. It's kind of like how animals are. They just sit next to each other. They never say nothing, no sounds, but the
Right.
animals are communicating. The
Right.
communication system that you all had was so real. It was so genuine. You could feel the love. And I just said, this is what I want. This is exactly what I want. I love how she just catered to you. She didn't like in a form of worship. She wasn't like, oh baby, honey, king, Lord, my grace. She wasn't like that.
Right.
But it was just the vibration, how you all frequent, the frequency was amazing. So I said, wow, this is real. This is something that's going to be monumental to so many of us in our community. They need to learn what a real relationship is, but it's only genuine because you mold and shape the person who you are now because of your past and what you went through. You had to learn. The fact that you said there was no relationship with the mom, that will mess up a lot of boys. Now, a relationship with the mom could be good or bad, but it can also mess you up in a good or bad way.
Right.
Some men never leave the nest and they're Jody, like on Baby
Right.
Boy
Right.
type
Right.
thing.
Right.
And they never really love a woman without treating her like that's my mama.
Right.
And then you overpower your mom, you're over possessive of your mom, and you don't know how to separate mom from mother and mother from this is your parent, a parent from you are the child, grow up, leave, become a man. So then you treat the woman like that and you lay up on them. You'll never work. You'll lay up on the woman. She'll work. She'll make all the money. You have a
Mm-hmm.
little wannabe part-time nickel penny job, collecting cans and some in and out jobs. But the
Right.
woman is breadwinner. She
Right.
decorates, she shops, she does everything. You don't do dishes. You don't know how to bathe. You don't know hygiene. You don't change the sheet on the bed. You didn't make the bed up. This is the man who becomes just that Jody, that baby boy. A lot of women have that, and that's what they're left with because men are so scarce. We're few in numbers. We're endangered species in the Black community. Then you
Yeah.
don't have the man who overcompensates. I'm the man. I'm the head. You shut up. Be submissive. Get in there. Cook for me. Make me some tacos. Bend over and give me some sex. And then I'm going to sleep. The men don't know how to cuddle. They don't know how to massage the woman. They don't know how to bring her flowers. They don't know how to cherish her, honor her, build her up, improve her by lifting her up and honoring and cherishing and royalty is what she is. She's a queen, so you honor her. But if a man doesn't know these principles and don't know how to have an effective relationship, it's reciprocal. Compromise is the letter C, and you're going to put the letter C in the word relationship because in order to relate to the woman and a woman to relate to the man, you got to communicate. The word communicate is the letter
Mm-hmm.
C, and in order to communicate, you got to compromise. You're not going to like every little minute detail that
Right.
the man does or the woman does. So you have to meet each other halfway and compromise. You get in where you fit in, and obedience is better than sacrifice. So there's going to have to be some time where you have to just obey these principles, be obedient to the principle. I got to sleep with this person, but they're snoring. But my love doesn't keep a record of snoring. My love doesn't see that. My love doesn't see the negative. I'm not going to focus on the negative. The positive outweighs the bad. So let me focus on the negative, turn everything negative into a positive, and let me see the good in that person. Because if you're recording all of the bad. That's because of unresolved emotions from the last relationship. The
Yep.
past, forgetting those things behind, let us move forward, let us prosper, let us be more productive. You cannot be productive in your relationship if you're worrying about what the last two Dick, Tom, and Harry did to you. The last woman did me like this. If you keep that here, then you're going to bring it into the next relationship and you hold that person accountable of things they haven't even done yet. And you're
Right.
prejudging, you're
Believe me, yes.
making that fair slave. I think every relationship should open and open up with honest. And the way it starts is the way it's going to end. And you need
Yeah.
to put yourself in the company of men who love God, men who love a higher power, something bigger than them. If a man doesn't love anything higher than himself and all he loves is himself, and then he thinks himself is bigger than anybody, you better run fast and get
Right.
Yes.
that
Right.
man, because
That's
you will become a trophy. All you are is a piece of flesh to him, and he
right.
will be somewhere else once he wears you out and once you gain weight. So a
I got.
man is loved through the thick and the thin. Is more than through death do us part, divorcement. We need to understand the definition of marriage. Marriage is a license that's created by Rome. That
Right.
is not the Godhead or the sovereignty of what God created. God didn't create marriage. God said, if two come together, they'll be agreed. Many relationships are put together based on emotions, feelings, hurt. We get in a relationship because we've been hurt. So you become a rebound. You become, I'm just trying to get over something, so I'm with you. I'm grieving, so I'm with you. The last person did me wrong, so I'll just be with you for the benefits.
Right.
We want to get in a relationship for benefits. You need to be with somebody who's going to be with you when you're broke. Because if they can honor and cherish you when you have nothing, guess what happens when two come together and they build? Because the letter B is the second letter in the alphabet or alphabet. B, bet, B, bet, buy it. It means two come together to the letter B, build. You can't build nothing without a second person. If you think you could just stay solo and sucker free your whole life, that is out of nature. That's not natural. That is not the design of a relationship. It takes two to have a relationship.
Yeah.
Two come together to relate and to build, to carry on to the next generation, which is the ship. We never got to one land to the next land without a ship to conquer the seas, the waves, the storms. Storms start out in the sea. So a ship that can weather any storm has to be a big, big B. Let it be to build a bigger ship. The bigger you build, the better you can weather anything. The bigger the relationship. You build kids, you build a crop, you build farm. Produce comes from the farm. You are supposed to produce. You drop your seed in fertile soil. The woman is the soil. She's the earth, Mother Earth, the uterus. Plant your seed in that uterus and let it produce and let it create. And I promise you, we can have a village.
Yeah.
Yes, we definitely can. And just, that was one of the things that me and Carmen did before we actually really got into a relationship. We discussed our past relationship and we discussed what we didn't like and what we would like have happened in that relationship. And I think that was the first time that I ever had a conversation like that with a woman going into a relationship. So I was shopping. Like I told her, it was something before you. I was shopping. I was seriously wanting to find a good relationship this year because I felt like I had became that man and I had a lot of love to give. And I wanted to not only show it, but prove to myself that I am that man now. That growth has came. It's here. So we're us not debating, but talking about our past relationship and our marriage and what we went through, it was crazy that we went similar to the same thing.
Yeah.
We went through the same similar thing, and I'm glad that we had that open communication right
Yeah.
on rip
Yeah.
because we didn't really know each other. We, correspond through phone and video chat before we met each other in person. We didn't just come out and meet each other and start. Then from there, we talked over the phone and video chat for the longest before we got together. And but I was didn't want to get in a relationship this time if I couldn't take care of that woman. And that was one of my things that I told her. I'm not going to date you until I'm 100% sure that I can take care of you. And I never told another woman that, but I knew I was coming into that man where I finally wanted to be in the past. And once I was able to take care of her, that's when I came home and told her, we getting married. You ain't got a choice. Let's go.
He did not propose.
Nope. I got you. This
Hey,
is
when
what I
you
want.
know that you know that you know,
Right.
and that
Yeah.
relationship, that connection is there, the chemistry, it's like it's a feeling that comes across you in your mind that this is it, this is what I've been looking for. It's nothing to think about. It's that
Right.
it's colorful thoughts. Colorful thoughts is an absolute. This is an absolute. This is the one I'm looking for because that energy is the same. I am right on the right station. That I went through all of these radio stations. Some of them were static. Some of them was boring. Some was too slow. Some was just too fast.
Right.
But this,
Hmm.
this, I got a relationship with this station right here. They're playing exactly what I want to hear. This is what the frequency I want to vibe with, and that's what you felt. You heard it. You tuned in immediately. You knew that this is the one. And I believe that Carmen had to go all through what she went through to make a better person for you. You had to go through all of what you went through to make a better person for her because when the creator puts things together and universe lines up, there's nothing that can come between that and separate that. And it's going to be solid. It's going to be a long-term investment, not a short-term investment. It ain't
Right.
no quick get rich type scheme. And a lot of relationships are quick get rich, and they become boring because once the money is used up and it's spent up, then you have nothing to show for it. This is something a relationship needs to have compromise and communication to where you all are open and say, we're going to invest our energy, our time here. We're going to build wealth. We will have a healthy relationship. If we are physically healthy, mentally healthy, emotionally healthy, then we will become wealthy because wealth follows the health.
That's right.
And yeah, and that's exactly what I was just finna get ready to say too. Is not only being mentally healthy, but physically healthy is going to make the relationship. Because that's one thing we love. What I love about our relationship is I never only had one that really worked out with me in my past, but me and her actually starting from ground zero and working out
Hmm.
together. We go out walking. She's always looking for, she bought a weight vest for me. So we always looking out for each other' health. And that part of our relationship, I think, has made me grown to even more to love this woman even more because I mean, I want to be around for a long time. I don't want to be the only one trying to stay healthy and physically and mentally, and not have a woman to do the same. I want us to be able to continue. That's
Right.
and do the same thing, and but only way we're going to be able to do that is to stay healthy mentally
Together.
and physically, and continue to grow with our communication. And don't get me wrong, do we have our ups and downs? Yes, but it's all about how you handle your ups and downs.
Right.
Yes, we do have our moments, and we already discussed before we got together how we handle our moments. And
Hmm.
like I told you, if I don't say nothing to you, because I don't want to speak out of anger. So I'd rather sit there quiet and let me get back with
Process.
you. Yeah, let me process that. Let me get back to you, and then we come back. So, and that's once again, that goes back to communication. And that's what you have to have. There's no doubt about it. A lot of relationships that I've been in didn't have it. A lot of relationships that I see don't really have communication. It's always one sided. Somebody got it, but the other person didn't have it. So my people out there, like I said, like Doc said, we gotta strengthen our minds and our bodies to have a good relationship. Once we get a good relationship, we can bring back these families because that's the key of destroying our race is to keep us separated, to keep us fighting each other. A relationship is not just in between a man and a woman. A relationship is between two men. That goes into your business.
Yep.
Relationship is just we
Friendship.
have to friendship. We have to have that type of communication in everything that we do to achieve what we want to achieve. And I feel I can speak on that now because I have done what I said I was going to do. My communication is, I feel, is very have improved a whole
It
lot.
has.
It has improved a lot to where I have landed the woman that I've been looking for mentally, and I'm in a great relationship mentally, and everything else has been a blessing for us to come, and we people can see it
They can.
because we get
Oh
compliments
yeah.
when we out and about, you know, and when we tell people, "Oh, we just got married. We ain't been a year yet," they've been like, "What?" But yes,
You
I
all
mean,
are a
so
powerful couple. You're a power
like,
couple, and the
Thank
fruits
you.
show it. The actions show it. And you said it. It's communication is key, and it's all about maturity.
yeah,
It takes a very mature person to say, "I don't want to argue. I don't. I'm just going to be quiet." Most men have to have the last word, the first word, the middle word, and the second. And then if the woman comes, no, so I think that's grand of you, and I applaud you. I admire you all, and that's why you all are so successful, and that's why you have built, and you're building an empire, and it's getting bigger. And we talked about some of the things that are upcoming, and all of the projects, and you guys are going to be successful because where two can come together and gather, they are powerful. Two can bring a lot of powerful. Where there's unity, there is strength, and you all stay strong. And I hope that someone hears this message today. I don't know if we could get any calls in because I don't think people are able to access it,
yeah, I
but
don't think they'd be
Yeah,
able
like I said,
to.
I think it's
we can.
recorded.
And so
I
we
will
got
get you on the next one for sure. I'm gonna make sure I
yeah.
have all that done. We will be able to take. I must flash the number anyway, so y'all will see where we will be taking calls at 407-718-1186. We apologize. Well, this is the first show broadcast. We will get it together well and bring Dr. Price back on
Of course.
so we can once you watch the video and if you got questions, actually if you put them in the comments, I will try my best to get those answers for you. I will hit them up, but you can also go to his Facebook page, which is at Lamar Edward Price. He's on Facebook, and you can also go to Instagram and get him on there also. So you can go there and ask your questions if you don't want to leave on the YouTube comments. We'll be glad. One of us will be glad to get with you and answer those questions. But I promise you, this is not the last time you'll see
Yeah.
Dr. Price. And what he just said, we got a lot of stuff going on. Dr. Price is part of the family
Right.
that's going through this process with us. We Color for Thought podcast is like I told y'all, like I said earlier, it's not just about we talk about wealth and health, but we're going to talk about freedom. Uh, a lot of us think we are free. We'll
Mm-hmm.
walk around here and we have free will to do what we want, but we really not free. The news tell you about the I mean show you that we're not when it comes to our people. We are being eliminated in many ways, not only by the food, by the vaccines that they putting out, but taking our men and breaking up our families, incarcerating us and killing us. We could throw our hands up, turn our back, and still get shot, and these murders will walk free. So we have to empower ourselves not only mentally and physically, but by freeing ourselves and getting away from these people by doing our paperwork and becoming free. I talk about this a lot, and like I said, Dr. Price is part of the family. He'll be back to talk about stuff like that also because he's going through that journey. He understands. He's always on the road. He know he get pulled over and have officers, question him in many ways and shouldn't be questioning him in many ways. But we have to learn the difference between statute and law and codes. We have to understand which one that we belong, what side of the law we belong on. And the Constitution is one of those sides that we need to learn. If you can sit down and learn all these rap songs, then you should be learning these black laws, definitions on things. You should be learning how to become free, learn about your strong man and stuff like that. Um, it kind of sicken me when I hear people, oh, I don't have time, but that's too much for me. But you can record, you can come to me and tell me lyrics word for word. You can tell me sports, the stats of these people. I'm like, how does that help you?
Mhm.
How do learning this type stuff help you if it's not in your field? If you keeping up with stats of teams and players and you ain't no sports announcer, how's this gonna help you? I'm trying to give you free game. Dr. Price just gave you free game on how to get healthy. We'll try, Colorful Thoughts will give you free game. We're not here to charge you. Dr. Price will let you know. He could be one way. I never try to charge anybody. I just want to see us do better. I want to see us grow. I want to see us come back. I never had the family to come, the mother and father in the same home, the loving father. I grew up in a family. We didn't say I love you. I don't even know why. And when I say it, it's like everybody get quiet. Like, what did you just say? And so I feel like I said something wrong when I tell my love them. So but I had outside family, even married my wife. I married into a great family because they all welcome me in like I've been in part of the family for years. Her mother, we get along, especially her father, we get along, and auntie, cousins, and but I wish I had that coming up. So we got to put that back in, and we have to stop judging each other, people, because I have a lot of people, say, "Oh, I know you. You don't know me. You knew me. You knew my past. You still stuck on what I did in the past. So you really don't know me because if you know me, then you know me now, and you know I'm not that same person back then. Do I slip? Yes, I'm not perfect. I have never met a perfect person. Yes, I have my up or downs, but I'm more a man now that I could catch myself before it escalated because I used to be the hothead. So we here on Colorful Thoughts and all my guests that I will bring on here is going to give you free game to get you in a position to that you can uh, grow your life, change your life, mentally, physically, and wealth. We have by sitting back and studying stuff and reading and asking questions. And as we learn, we've been passing it on down. And like I said, Dr. Price jumped on board. He's looked at what I offer, and just as much as I looked at what he offered, and he's teaching me his ways, and I'm teaching mine. And after a while, I'm telling you, this dream team that we put together, y'all better watch
Powerful,
out. You better
powerful.
watch out. It's gonna be
Yeah, we're
powerful.
gonna
Yes,
we're gonna
it is.
change the world, one village at a time, one community, one cell group at a time. And I think the fact that you said so many of our young men don't really know what to do when they come in contact with authorities.
Right.
Knowledge is amazing. Ever since I've been on this journey with you all, I've been pulled over, and it changed. I've never in my life seen officers treat me the way they are now. They just let me go. Oh, sir, sorry for pulling you over. Okay, have a nice day. Hey, can I get you anything? Can I get you some coffee and Dunkin'? Like, wow, like I
Right,
should have been doing this a long time ago. So if we can get this same information and knowledge to our young black community who are dying faster by cop, the black men. Why? Because our skin tone, our melanin, our voice, our tone, our look, our presence, it puts fear in people. If you see
right,
a gorilla and look at a monkey or an orangutan that's burgundy-ish brown, which one looks more scarier? The gorilla, because the
right,
darkness is like darkness is a negative. It's negative energy, and so when a lot of these officers approach our young black men, you don't have to have a gun, you don't have to have any weapons or be violent. You can have your hands up or whatever. Why do they still get shot? The
right.
officers will clearly say they feared for their lives. In which way? Well, you move too fast. You all are very fast runners, and you are strong by nature. I don't want you to get the best of me. I got to go home. I got kids. I'm an officer, but your voice. You guys are very violent because of gangs and the rap music, and we don't understand you. So they're not policing us. They're like releasing something out onto our community, which is ignorance and it's spirit of fear. Fear has torment. So if an officer feels fear that's tormenting him mentally, he can't use judgment, reasonable thinking, how to de-escalate. So they're not teaching these officers through administration justice on how to handle dysfunctional people. Blacks are the most dysfunctional. We come from hostile communities and neighborhoods. We don't say I love you in our homes. That's very rare, very rare. We don't love on one another. We fight each other in the same house. We don't get along with our brothers and sisters. We will kill our brothers and sisters, but don't let nobody else mess with us. So
Right.
when
Right.
you into the public, into the community, you mix drugs and alcohol, you mix smoking weed all day, rap music. We look violent, we look aggressive. We got the braids, the earrings, the tattoos. We got this mean look on our face, but we can be the nicest person. So if we can teach sovereignty, if we can teach nationalize, getting private sector, if we could teach, let's get our straw man back. Let's learn how we could be independent from the system, not an award of the state, not under the magistrates. Let's get authenticated. Let's get secured through our party and let our community know we can drive wherever we want. We're traveling. We need to teach them the verbiage, teach them the words, the knowledge. We instill it, teach our courses, let's teach these schooling. Let's get this in our communities, one community at a time. Once it starts spreading like rap music and like everything on TikTok and on the internet, when it starts spreading in the right way, the correct way, this knowledge will become so empowering. We will see all of these shootings stop. We will see hands up, don't shoot, I can't breathe. All of that will be a thing of the past. But we got to encourage one another to let's build up our communities, let's communicate, and let's do something different. But all of that marching and walking and holding up signs and shaking signs and burning stuff up, that ain't changed nothing. They've been doing that since the wall of Jericho came
Oh,
tumbling
really?
down. All that marching, I'm not marching. I'm not going to
I ain't
riot. I'm
know
going
that.
out. Peace, peace. Men will cry peace. There's not going to be no peace. All that, no justice, no peace. It's
Right.
been like that since Martin Luther King and them getting water hosed down. Nothing new. They was lynching us, hanging us in. They turned in their horses and white coats and hoods for police cars and uniforms. And now
Right.
don't tear down the police department. We need police. They are designed to protect property. But if we get our authentication back and we know we're property of our own self, and I'm civil and I'm liberated and I'm free, he who the Son sets free is free indeed in every way, mentally, physically, emotionally. So I know how to freely speak to people without making them feel intimidated. How are you doing, sir? Nice day. Oh, by the way, I can't answer any of your questions. I'm not in your jurisdiction. I know you don't understand that, but hey, here's my passport. I'm traveling. I'm a free
Right.
traveler. Well, we're going to teach this. We'll teach these. We'll get these fundamentals out. I'm excited about what we're doing. This is not no conspiracy. This is not no malicious movement. We're gonna build. We're gonna build. That's what we want to do. Build and
What
be productive. And thank you all for the time. Thank you. Thank you
you're
for having
welcome.
me.
One thing that I wrote down is the first step to this process, whether you're eating right, whether you becoming a free person, is changing your mind. Reset.
Yeah, we have to. We have to
Reset.
relearn what you learned
Right. Right. So
We want to preach colorful thoughts,
right.
all day.
Right.
Colorful
not
thought.
dark, not dim, not one shade, not gray,
Hmm.
not black. We want some colorful thoughts. We want to illuminate and transparent because you cannot have color without light. You can't see color without light. So you can't think color without being enlightened. So we're going to enlighten everybody. We're going to bring truth. The truth has made us free. We're going to be sovereign with the truth, not conspiracies, not hearsay. We put actions behind it. You all are a living testament and testimony of what we're talking about. And we have many more to go, and we're just going to keep improving in our communities. And we thank you for power couples like yourself. We
Thank
need
you.
more of it. Hopefully you all will be an example, a platform, a foundation of how relationships should be built. And the love that you all have, love conquers a multitude of wrong. Love is a powerful form of energy, the most powerful form of it. And let's just energize and reignite this back to our community.
Okay. One last question before we go.
Sure.
What service do you offer?
So I offer natural practitioner. I'll be your personal doctor. You can reach me at 424-274-2016. 424-274-2016, or DM me on the social media, Instagram, or I was about to say Instacart because I'm hungry, Instagram or Facebook.
Uh,
Um, what I do is I help people identify the source to your problem, whether it's health, mental, physical, emotional, spiritual. We identify the problem by getting to the seed, not the root, the seed. Go to the seed, and the only way we can see the seeds are very small, they're micro. So we need to look in the eye. When I look in your eyes, I can see the spiritual, I can see the mental, I can see the emotional. When we get to the root of that, then we can correct the problems. So I do iridology, which is the study of the iris, and I can diagnose. When I diagnose you, I don't say I see parasites. I see you're pregnant. I can't see that. I don't see parasites in your eye and candida and bacteria. I see an acidic environment that can bring forth disease and destruction, bring forth death, dysfunction of your organs. So what I do is I help you become healthier by identifying the source through iridology. I become your doctor, I become your personal nutritionist, I become your health coach, and that's what I offer. It's a small fee, it's a one-time fee. I am a herbalist, I am a nutritionist. I've opened the body, I've dissected the organs, I understand how the body works. You reach out to me for health advice, spiritual advice, for just advice on anything. I will seek out the truth to give to you and not just say something that sounds good and say, take this product, I'm gonna charge you $100,000 or I'm gonna charge you for this. It's fake. I want nature natural. We got to go back to nature, natural principles. Cause, effect, action, reaction. I offer you water. I present it to you. I don't force anything on anybody. I'm not religious. I'm very spiritual. I serve one God. I don't believe in multiple gods. And I just teach people fundamental truths and principles that have been here since the dawn of time, since the existence of humanity. I'm taking people back to the roots, back to the garden, back to the farm, back to our old ways, back, reback, 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 throwback. Let's go back, repent. Repentance is the first thing. And if we don't repent, then we will be turned over to a reprobate mind. You'll live your life unnatural, unseemingly, without natural affection because you did not change your thinking. And Carmen said it. We want to promote, let's change our thinking. That's where the battle starts. The battle is in the mind. The battle's already won. We are more than conquerors. We have dominion over all things. And we can do this, but we got to come together. Let's humble ourselves. If you humble yourself, pride comes before fall. Pride becomes before destruction. So we want to help and encourage people. Let's just slow down, pump our brakes, be anxious for nothing, worry about nothing. You know, God is in control, and we can take control to be our own gods within ourselves because our brains are in the image of the Creator. Our brains are all knowing. Our brain never sleeps, it never slumbers. The pineal gland is a gland. Let's encourage one another to get more water because the brain is water. And that's about it, the logistics of what I do now. I'm helping make an impact in lives. And I'm going to be the doctor for this big community, the nutritionist for the community, what to eat, what not to eat.
yes,
I
you
teach
are.
you, yes, yeah, I teach you about all of the good and the bad and how to differentiate what not to eat and what to eat and all of the myths that's out there. There's a lot of information out there on the internet. It's a wealth of information, overwhelming information. We are exhausted with information, and a lot of this information is not right. Everything that glitters is not gold. You got to be careful that sounding brass and tingling cymbals, there's a way that seems right, it can lead to destruction and death follows that. So I educate, I'm an educator. I teach people the language, the principles, the fundamentals, to keep it simple. Let's go back. Simplicity is everything. Less is best. Godliness with contentment is great gain. Let's just not be religious. You don't need a bunch of churches and a bunch of people who are
Nope.
pedophiles and perverts telling you how to live. Let's just
Right.
focus on truth. All right. Thank
Sounds
you.
great. I know one thing too. I want to leave with this to the people. This is a great doctor, great man. As
Mm-hmm.
you have heard, we're going to be doing a fundraiser for this guy. This guy does not fly anywhere. He
Mm-hmm.
travel from coast to coast
In a car.
in a car, and he's paid for his own hotels, and friends and family. Clients might let him stay over, but we need to support this gentleman, this doctor, because, like I said, you don't find a lot of them. I'm glad that we was referred to him. I'm so happy that we are, and I want to really help him out as best as I can. I know me and Lacina, which I will be having a guest. She'll be a guest coming soon, but she and I are going to put something together for Dr. Price to raise funds for him to keep him going until we can get him that RV so he can drive in style and live. So that is our goal. We got to get him one of these. Get him out of the car. Get him in a big mobile home and let him continue travel and to heal people naturally. And like I said, I tip my hat off for you because man, I never met someone like you that I mean you blow me away from day one, and I'm glad that I can be.
Right.
You can be our doctor, and I can be a friend to you. So you
Thank
always
you.
got my
Likewise.
support, always. So this is closing of the show, my people. Uh, his information one more time on Facebook, as you see at Lamar Edwards Price on Facebook, and then we have Dogmatics Health Solution on Instagram. Please check him out. Please ask questions for him. I'm going to share his information. That is his thing. You see his information up top. Also, the thing you can read up on him real quick. But once again, we will get back with you. We will definitely have him on again on podcast, and we thank y'all for watching Colorful Thought Podcast. Y'all have a great
Thank
day.
you. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody.
Peace.